Hey guys, today I want to talk to you about the 6 tips that I found to be effective in rebuilding the enzymes in your digestive system. Just to give you a little background there so you understand why you need to know this information, and if you're looking at this video, you probably might be experiencing some issues with bloating or constipation or some sort of unpleasant symptoms like TMI, farting and things like that, or even heartburn. That's something I don't have, but I think all of those things, they stem from a lack of digestive enzymes. Now, you could have other underlying causes and problems, but this is one of the things to fix. The reason that I need to fix it in my body is because I have had an overgrowth of candida. I didn't take care of the problem for a really long time. So when you don't have the enzymes, eventually this leads to hidden allergens. Basically, these are a step behind of real allergies. And what I mean by real allergies are allergies that basically make you break out, your face goes 5 sizes bigger in 5 seconds because you ate a peanut, those kind of allergies. So before that, there are a lot of steps that are taken by your body in order for that not to happen. So it gives you a lot of warnings. So bloating is one of those warnings that you're lacking some enzymes in your body and you need to fix it. So now our body, mainly our pancreas, produces most of them by itself, and if everything is functioning perfectly, then you probably don't need to worry about that too much, as long as you're eating whole food, healthy diet. And what I mean by healthy is basically whole food, that you're not eating processed food, that you're not eating a lot of animal product and things like that. In order to for your body to create enzymes, you need vitamins. So vitamins, that's something that helps the body create enzymes, but also some foods contain natural enzymes in them. And those enzymes basically come in and help your body. And I found this to be super effective because I was getting really bloated, and within a week of trying these things, I found that my body got a lot better. The bloating I was experiencing before, it was nowhere near to what it is now. Now there's just small something here and there, and that took a week. So amylase is to digest carbohydrates basically, and it is in a lot of fruits. And I find that a lot of these things are either in exotic fruits or in things that undergo fermentation. Protease, from the sound of it, you probably guessed it, it's an enzyme that digests protein. And lipase is for the digestion of fats. So depending on which enzymes you need the most, those are the fruits or fermented foods that you need to focus on. Some things have all of them and some things have only some of them. But basically you want to focus on actually starting out with trying out each thing and seeing what works. And if you feel that you have a specific issue with a specific enzyme, then once you've gone through the process of testing, you can fix your issues by focusing on that specific fruit or in that specific food. The other thing that I should add, just in North America, I think for the most part, the main issue is the processing of foods. And I'm not talking about just cooking something, I'm talking about candies, protein bars, anything like that. There's just too much of it and our body, it just can't handle it. So number one, the fruit that helped me the most, I found, was papaya. I was obsessed with eating it. I think I ate it for probably 4 days straight. I would have a papaya a day, something like that. And I also ate the seeds. I think the seeds actually help with certain things that I'll talk about in another video. But chewing a tablespoon a day of the seeds actually kills parasites. So that's another tip for you. But basically it breaks down proteins, and I think my body was having the most issue with breaking down proteins because I would get the most bloated when I had peanut butters or any kind of nut butters or any kind of beans, especially in excess. Enzymes that break down the proteins is called papain. The next one that I thought was very helpful for me, even though I didn't have it as much, pineapple, I thought was really helpful. It has protease enzymes that help break down proteins. I found it really refreshing, though it does if you eat too much of it, it will burn your tongue and it will burn your mouth. If you want to kind of avoid those symptoms and unpleasant feelings, I would say a third of pineapple at the most. I found if I ate any more, it would just start burning my mouth a little bit. That's actually the enzyme that we're talking about here. It starts killing things off on the surface. So if you have any sort of openings or wounds, that's where it hurts. You have a lot of lesions inside your mouth, especially on your tongue, that we don't realize we have, but we do. Number 3 is one of my favorite tropical fruits ever. I mean, I've definitely been obsessed with mangoes, and they have helped me. So mangoes have a group of enzymes called amylases, and they basically help break down carbohydrates. I didn't have as much of an issue with enzymes lacking to break down carbohydrates because I think I was already having a lot of mangoes, so I ate a couple. I believe it helped as well. And that's it. Also, these enzymes are made by the pancreas, so if we're helping our pancreas with the vitamins that it needs in order to create these enzymes, our body wouldn't have as much of a problem. And even though I didn't try eating bananas because apparently I have an intolerance to it, so I haven't been eating them, I would add bananas to the same kind of grouping as mangoes because they help to break down the same types of foods with the enzymes that they contain. And just to kind of finish off the exotic fruit category, another thing that I didn't find to be recommended a lot, but it actually helped me, was jackfruit. So jackfruit has something that's called manganese, and it helps in building these enzyme blocks that eventually help you break down foods, and it has a lot of really good vitamins. So number 4 is avocado. Avocado has been a superfood for a long time, as you guys know if you watch any YouTube or don't live under a rock. People have been obsessed with avocado for the last, I don't know, at least 7 years. I mean, the avocado toast, oh my gosh, it's everywhere. That's not an accident. Avocados are a pretty healthy fat, and it's a fruit that protects itself with a shell, so it's hard to genetically modify or kind of mess with it. So that's why people naturally pull towards this fruit, because it's delicious, it has a lot of fat, and it helps you substitute for things that are not as healthy as well, because it will help you break down the fats. So if your body is having trouble breaking down the fats, then that's the thing that you should be taking on. Number 5, this doesn't work for vegans, and I haven't had it in the recent months just because I've decided to go strictly vegan just for now. But honey is something that I definitely love, and I definitely will have in the future just because it is so nutritious. There are so many good things in honey. Obviously, you want to source the honey from beekeepers that are not cruel to their bees, that they don't feed their bees sugar. You should be looking for small companies where you can actually meet the owner. Especially in small towns, you would know who's making the honey and how. So it is possible to do it without being cruel to the bees. It has a number of enzymes that help break down all kinds of sugars and all kinds of carbs, so basically starches and fructose and things like that, as well as protein. The other thing that I've already mentioned, so this honey that you're buying from a local beekeeper, it should be raw. It's really important because otherwise it just becomes like basically a processed sugar, more or less, if it's heated a lot. So number 6 is a big one. It's basically eating a lot of fermented foods. What I've been consuming a lot is miso soup. So the miso paste, I've been buying it. I don't ferment it myself. There is a lot of salt, but you can also buy low sodium types as well. There's obviously sakura, there's kimchi that I love. You can probably even have kombucha, but again, if you're making it yourself, then it would be good. If you're buying it from a store, the processing, it kills the enzymes. Don't see it as like a health food. I wouldn't. In the past, it did help me a lot. I felt a lot of relief, even from just having kind of weird need to eat certain things or eat sugars. I would drink kombucha, and it would kind of balance my cravings, if that makes sense. So anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.